active evening weather-wise, not just here in central Wisconsin, but pretty much throughout the state. It was an exceptionally long line of severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. If you looked at the maps last night, you saw lots of boxes for severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings. And I'm sure somebody that was very, very, very busy last evening is our meteorologist, Brittany Merlot. And Brittany joins us right now. And Brittany, good morning.
Good morning, Chad. I'm going to say a line from the new Twisters movie. If you don't face your fear, you ride it. That was last night.
I tell you, and I'm with Bob Look here again this morning. We were talking, and I was on the air last night as the weather came on and was passing along information. And most of the time, we were having these kind of discussions where, talking about a forecast where, it could be cloudy, it could be sunny. But then you have these nights where so much happens. And I imagine that it is riding the wave a little bit for you and your colleagues as well.
Oh, it sure is. So much was going on, and it all happened so fast and all at the same time. I mean, the same time that we were getting tornado warnings in Marathon County, so was Madison. They had multiple tornado warnings all at once. So we were getting this all at the same time. And then it pushed over to the east and started to dissipate. But winds were clocked here in Wausau at 60 miles per hour. And there's, of course, reports of about a 25-foot tree just 2 miles north of downtown that's been uprooted. That takes strong winds to do that. Plus all the rain that we got, nearly 2 inches of rainfall made that ground so soggy that across the state, a lot of trees are uprooted. I'm seeing tons and tons of pictures of that happening from those strong winds in this line of storms. But we're the only ones in the entire state that actually had a tornado being reported by someone. Everything else was just radar indicated. It was our rotation showing up that we could see on our radar images. Nothing was confirmed throughout the entire state. But in Unity, the town of Unity, someone said that they saw a funnel actually touching the ground, and law enforcement reported that. And there goes our sirens for the next 45 minutes, right?
And last night, looking at the radar, I mean, I don't know how often this happens, but I was looking at that line. It was all the way up to the UP and all the way down to the border of Illinois.
Yeah.
How unusual is that? Because I thought that was pretty amazing, just looking at that radar with all the bright colors and everything that was going on with it. Usually you'll see a line, but it doesn't go from the entirety of the state of Wisconsin. Basically, it was pretty much the state of Wisconsin had this long line of very intense thunderstorms and tornadoes.
We did. We had those severe storms just snaking throughout the state. I mean, these lines are actually kind of common for us in the Midwest because a lot of the severe thunderstorms start and they're isolated off into Iowa. And then as it pushes towards us, they line out against that cold front. But one of the most common ways that we here in Wisconsin get tornadoes is inside of those lines. They're just embedded in that line of storms. And so that's what we were seeing was brief little spin ups of some rotation actually touching the ground inside that line. So it's very interesting. And a little tidbit too, if you're ever on the south side of those storms, the south side of the line is usually in the north side. That's where a lot of those tornadoes do happen. So oh, goodness. We made it, though. We made it. Just some tree damage, power outages, and that's the worst I'm seeing being reported, thankfully. Iowa, not so much. They got hit really hard as the town of Greenville. Deaths being reported from a massive tornado there. So scary stuff.
Well, now that we've got past that, again, we still had some cloud cover, a little bit of light precipitation was coming down as I came into work this morning, but things are going to improve as we get through the rest of the day, aren't it?
Yes, we are going to actually see some spots of sunshine as we go through the afternoon, more and more clearing by tonight. Temperatures today will only hit the upper 60s, so still a little on the cooler side and still breezy with winds gusting up to 25 miles per hour. I mean, we're in the backside of the system. It's still kind of near us, so it's going to take a minute for it to leave. But tomorrow, beautiful, bright, sunny, warmer, mid to upper 70s. It's going to be the best day of the week is tomorrow.
And then as we get through, and again, I'm looking ahead here.
Yep.
Our temperatures have stayed a little bit cooler than maybe we'd expect as we now get towards Memorial Day, and even through the weekend, we're going to still be in the 60s. It looks like I just find it odd because we've had so many warm months for such a long time. It feels like we've been kind of below the curve a little bit in terms of the temperatures. Is that true?
Yes, we are. We're going to have a much cooler than average Memorial Day weekend, unfortunately. I know a lot of pools and beaches and stuff want to open up, and we want the 80s, but no, mid to upper 60s this weekend. And in fact, we're going to see some wet weather on Friday. That kicks on out of here, so it'll be pretty decent for Saturday and Sunday. And then Monday, we may see some more showers and storms returning. So keep that in mind that Saturday and Sunday this weekend will be the driest for us, but much cooler out there as well. But you
In
know
fact,
what? It's better than severe storms. I'll take
oh,
60s over yesterday.
uh, yeah, I think so. But we're only on the front edge of the summer, so I'm sure this will
Yep.
not be the last time that you and I are being asked to bring some severe weather information to the folks here in central Wisconsin.
No, I know. Hey, did you get your game in?
I you opened up a can of worms here. I drove 2 hours and 20 minutes, arrived, and 10 minutes earlier they had called the game.
No.
Never got out of the car. I turned around 2 hours and 20 minutes back, and at that point, I was in time to start covering the severe weather.
You're a storm chaser now.
I tell you, and you were right. And there were a couple of moments and some heavy rains as I was going through. And I remember talking to you yesterday, making sure I didn't go plowing through because I was a lot of 2-lane roads where I was headed yesterday. But it was, I mean, more than 4.5 hours straight driving for no game.
I know. I was thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, well, they could probably get the game in time, but are they thinking about driving from Wausau?
But it's like, oh, this was like, oh,
On the road again.
Another reminder.
Yeah.
Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Brittany, thanks for the information. Thanks for
No
everything
problem.
last night as well. And we'll catch you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Have a good day, everyone.
That's our Brittany Merlot, joins us every weekday morning from at 8:20 here on Bow Falls Radio. Again, right now in Wausau, overcast skies, 56 degrees, a little bit gusty out there. The winds are out of the southwest at 18 miles per hour, gusting up to 28